All Quiet on the Western Front is a German war film that hit a bunch of film festivals before it was distributed in October on Netflix, and it is currently playing on Netflix. Also nominated for a Academy Award for the 2023 Oscars. This film is completely in the German language. I think there's some French in there too, but I'm pretty sure it's like at least 98% German. And this is based on a book by Eric Maria Remarque. Remarque, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this book was written in 1929, and it was also German language, but translated into a bunch of other languages, which I obviously am interested in reading. And I didn't know this, but this was also already adapted into a film in 1930, an American film actually. So it was an English language film in 1930, but it is now a German production and a really, really good war film. Now, the thing about it though, I'm not the biggest war guy in general in the first place, but I think there's a big crunch happening with war films currently, and I think they are coming out pretty rapidly. I mean, this is coming off of 1917, sorry, which came out, what, 2 years ago, and also got a lot of Academy Award buzz. This is a very visually stunning film, and it definitely captures the intensity of the war scenes, and the cinematography is beautiful, as 1917 was. But I just find this film is a little too similar to 1917, especially them being released so close together. And it definitely is similar to a lot of other war films I've seen. Like I said, it's not doing a whole lot differently. I mean, it is beautiful. It is well directed. It can't take away anything from the production of the film, the directing of the film. Everything is absolutely magnificent in like quality scale. The film plays out basically following this young soldier who signed up for the war at 17 years old, obviously claiming to be 18. And it just follows him through the trenches in this little period in, I believe, 1916, I think this film starts. Maybe it's 1917, but regardless, it follows him in the trenches and basically in the heart of battle going on in this really small location because the soldiers aren't able to progress very far. Mostly they're in battle in one contained spot. It says at the end of the movie that they only progress like a few hundred meters per day per battle kind of thing. So they're really stuck in one location. And then there's this other side story that is about these governors kind of thing, these leaders trying to pass a bill in order to stop the war and in order to pass basically a law saying that there's no fighting allowed on land, sea, and air in whatever location they're in, France, Germany, that kind of area. But like I said, this film is shot and directed very well and definitely portrays the horrors of war very, very well. It's just been done one too many times, and it's not really a breath of fresh air anymore at this point with this film coming out. As great as it is, I think it's just on the same line as other films that have come out recently. Big example being 1917. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the review, like war films aren't my go-to anyway. There's a few war films that I love. There's, the classics. I don't typically like any war films, which this one is not, by the way. This one is not the kind of war film that I don't like. But I don't like war films that are very patriotic and glamorizing to like one side only and just basically considering the other side of the war like evil rats and rodents and pieces of shit and like really glamorizing one side. I don't like the politics that a lot of war movies throw into there. Like one side is heroes and the other side is so villainous and evil. I think war should be horrific on both sides because that's exactly what it is. So I don't appreciate when films go super political on war themes. And I also don't like films that basically glamorize war and portray war as like such an amazing, fun thing and like, you know, put it in a positive light because it's, again, absolutely not. And this is one of those films that doesn't do that and really shows the horrors and the horror of war, which war films absolutely should. My favorite war film that I've seen is Hacksaw Ridge by Mel Gibson. Because of the theme too that goes with the war theme. It's you're following the story of a guy who refuses to use a gun because he refuses to kill. I love that. I love when there's a bigger message other than just showing, war scenes for a whole length of a film. I like when there's a subtext going on or a sub story or something that goes along with the war story going with it. And Hacksaw Ridge had both of those elements. It had a great story following character and had a really positive character study, as well as incredible cinematography and amazing directing. So like I said, this is like a middle of the road film, and mostly it's because of when it's coming out. I don't think there's anything wrong with the film itself. It's a master quality piece of cinema, just tangled up with a bunch of similar things, and it's not doing anything new, I would say. As for the Oscars themselves, every year I decide on a film that I'm hoping to win Best Picture and then a film that I'm predicting to win Best Picture. The one I'm hoping straight up is The Banshees of Inisherin. I did a spoiler-free review on the channel. You can go check that out. But as soon as I purchase that film, I'm going to be doing a spoiler review on it as well, because I adored that film and I think it's fantastic and it's definitely deserving of Best Picture. The film that I am predicting to win Best Picture, I'm probably going to go with Everything Everywhere All at Once, just because of how many awards it won in other ceremonies already, and because of the hype and how much people are talking about it. It has a very big chance of winning. But the Oscars are one of those ceremonies that really can throw you under the rug sometimes, and it really can be anyone's game. The three most likely, if I could pick three, I'm not going to, but the three films that I think have the best chance are Everything Everywhere All at Once, Triangle of Sadness, and Elvis. Elvis, again, because biopics are really favored in when it comes to the Academy Awards. I am, by the way, very shocked that The Whale was not nominated for Best Picture. Although it's going to be a 50-50 battle between Austin Butler and Brendan Fraser on that award. I'm hoping Brendan Fraser, I really, really am hoping, but Austin Butler is right over there too, so it's a literal 50-50. I just think Brendan Fraser deserves the Academy Award more so than Austin does at this point in time, just because he's been in the industry longer and this is his comeback kind of thing. And Austin Butler is like an up and coming fresh actor. I think he's got a lot of time to be able to win Academy Awards. I just think Brendan deserves it a lot more. But yeah, between those three movies, Everything Everywhere, Triangle of Sadness. Triangle of Sadness too, because especially I watched it recently and I just reviewed it recently. The themes of it seem very Academy Award-ish. But I mean, last year was Coda, which was a film that I never even heard spoken of or mentioned before. It came out of nowhere. So like I said, it really could be anybody's game. But Banshees was my favorite, but I think I'm going to be landing on Everything Everywhere as my guess, as my prediction, although it could very, very well be Triangle of Sadness as well. I'm jumping back and forth between those two mostly. But we shall see for the Oscars. And I take the Oscars with a grain of salt too. I don't follow, I don't watch every Best Picture winner. Like, I haven't watched every single film that was nominated for Best Picture because some of them I'm just not interested in, and I'm not going to watch them just because they were nominated or anything like that. But it seems to be anybody's game this year, and it usually is, but this year seems to be pretty tight with everybody. Top Gun can even take it. I mean, with all the actual jet plane, action that was going on, that they actually really did and didn't use practical or CGI or like special effects with it. They had actual planes flying. Could very well take the award too. So it's just a waiting game. We shall see tomorrow as I'm recording this anyway. So my hope for Best Picture is Banshees of Inisherin, and my prediction for Best Picture will be Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I'll just leave it at that for now. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you'd like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.